Darth Vader was rarely known to fail his missions, having the power and determination to overcome nearly any obstacle bestowed upon him. However, one of his biggest weaknesses, especially in his early years as a Sith Lord, was his obsession with hunting and killing the remaining Jedi that survived Order 66. This obsession of his was so apparent and counterproductive that Palpatine himself had to frequently remind Vader to refocus his efforts in building up their new order, rather than waste his time and the Empire's resources in hunting down an already defeated enemy. Despite his master's numerous scoldings on the matter, there was one mission early on in his career where Vader's obsession with the Jedi caused him to utterly fail the task that he was given by Palpatine, making it likely the first time he had ever failed his master in such a disastrous manner. Vader's mission was quite simple: to protect the secret Imperial AT-AT factory on a remote planet and to speed up the production of the new walkers. On a nearly daily basis, the factory was attacked by the natives of the planet, who were always defeated once Vader made his way onto the scene, as he cut them all down before the natives could get anywhere near the factory walls with their explosives. During these attacks, an Imperial scouting party was sent into the wilderness in an attempt to locate the natives' leader, so Vader could hunt them down and end their attacks for good. But the scouting party never returned and was believed dead. When Vader reported this to Palpatine, his master began to scold him on wasting resources once again on pointless errands, and that all Vader had to do was remain at the factory and protect it, nothing more. Palpatine probably knew that the leader of the natives was a surviving Jedi, and this entire mission was likely a test for his apprentice. Vader further confirmed this fact to his master when he admitted that he had sensed a powerful presence from a Force user on the planet. Palpatine once again reminded his apprentice to remain at the base no matter the reason, and that his sole mission was to protect the factory and nothing else. Shortly after the meeting ended, Vader was informed that a member of the scouting party had returned back to the base. The surviving scout was gravely wounded, and before he succumbed to his injuries, he informed Vader that the leader of the natives was indeed a Jedi. Unable to help himself, Vader almost instinctively began to move toward the last reported position of the scouting party, completely dismissing the Imperial commander's concerns, who demanded the Sith Lord to remain back at the factory. Vader eventually was able to discover the native camp and took out the resisting soldiers on site, finally confronting the Jedi there. However, the Jedi he fought was only a mere Padawan, with his master making his apparent escape elsewhere on the planet. Taking the Padawan's own lightsaber, Vader executed the Jedi learner the same way he did with Count Dooku, back on the invisible hand. As Vader went through the forest in search of the master, he was ambushed numerous times by the natives. During one attack, the natives launched a sonic device that emitted a frequency which awakened a massive beast nearby, who instantly attacked the Dark Lord once it saw him. Realizing that his lightsaber was useless against the beast's scales, Vader used the dark side to gain control of the creature's mind, forcing it to obey his will. Riding the creature, now across the forest, Vader was eventually able to locate the Jedi Master by the next morning, who simply sat at the peak of a mountain. The Jedi Master was making no escape, for that was the trick in order to hasten the Sith Lord's search for him. While Vader began to confront the Jedi Master, the beast on which he rode began to leave him, to which the Jedi noted that he should be more concerned about his leaving ride than with himself. But Vader paid no attention to his comment, only desiring to kill the man where he stood. Once the duel started, Vader was able to quickly bring down the Jedi Master, disarming him and cutting his lightsaber in half, forcing the Jedi to the ground and to his mercy. Before Vader could give the killing blow, the Jedi took out a second blade from his cane, using it as a surprise attack to disarm the Sith Lord. But Vader too had a second blade on him, the Padawan's lightsaber from earlier, using the weapon to stab the Jedi in the stomach. Before executing the Jedi, Vader demanded the man's name. The Jedi gave his name to the Sith Lord, translating its meaning from his people to mean trickster, a meaning Vader would soon realize the accuracy of. Following the execution of the Jedi, Vader made his way back to the Imperial factory on the planet. When he arrived, all he saw was rubble from what was once a well-defended factory. As he walked through the bodies and remains of the factory, he came upon the same device from earlier, the one that released the frequency which called upon the massive beast that he had rode from before. Realizing his grave mistake and understanding exactly what the Jedi Master meant on being more concerned about his ride leaving him, Vader had no time to come up with any excuse for his master, as Palpatine arrived on site soon after. looking upon the failure of his apprentice with pure disgust and disappointment. No words were needed to be said to get across Palpatine's anger towards his apprentice, with his only words to his apprentice being to meditate on his failure on the planet before leaving on his shuttle. And with that, Vader was likely isolated on the remote planet for days, if not weeks, as he meditated on his foolishness in being deceived so easily by a Jedi.